and welcome to this short introduction, this short webinar on Sitedrive. Happy to see you all and happy to have you here in your lunch break, joining us in Lean Construction Denmark and Tomi from Sitedrive in this 1 hour webinar where we will get a short introduction, as I mentioned, to Sitedrive and who wants to make industrialized lean construction accessible for everyone. And today we'll hear more about from Tomi here, more about their experiences and software solutions. My name is Morten, and I have the great pleasure of facilitating the activities and initiatives and projects in Lean Construction Denmark network. And I'll begin with a short introduction of the host today. It's in Danish, and hopefully most of you can read and understand what I put in the slide here. But we have been working with lean construction for 20-25 years, and we work to spread out and implement the lean construction to the Danish construction sector, both with national and international experiences from the lean construction processes. And we hold a total of 15 to 20 events per year. We have a large annual conference, and often we visit construction sites or companies, and also, as I said here, we have some projects and different initiatives who gives us the possibility to publish report cases and guidelines in lean construction tools, methods, and so on. For the last 2 or 3 years, I think we have been more and more active in the different international and European initiatives and community, and that has given us a lot of insights and what's going on in other countries around us, and that has really helped to broaden our view on lean construction perspectives. We are and have been a network for the past 5 years in Værdibyg, and is also a network for all actors in the construction process. That's more or less all for me today. We are very happy to have you with us today, Tomi, and give us most of an hour to share your insights to the necessary steps, as I mentioned here, and challenges you have stumbled upon and experienced in transforming construction. And of course, also it is very interesting for us to see how your software solutions support this transformation in construction. And you just mentioned, Tomi, for me, that you have been with Sitedrive almost since the beginning. So we'll have a really expert on this matter with us today. And thank you very much for joining us today, Tomi. And please take over the screen and microphone. Welcome once more, and on to you.
Can you see my presentation now?
Yes. See it.
Good. Okay. Hello, everyone. Also from my side, my name is Tomi Pitkäranta, and in fact, I actually work in the parent company of Sitedrive called Flow Technologies, but let's go soon more into that. In this presentation, I will shortly tell you our story about how we've been improving construction productivity since the beginning, and what are really the hurdles that we are going through in this journey of changing and really redefining how construction should and could be managed. And last of all, I will shortly go through the main principles of Sitedrive and also give you a demo from the product. Good. But yes, really about improving construction productivity, it often feels like fighting the windmills, at least for us. There's been really many turnovers on our own journey, and of course, when you go to the sites, it might be that, hey, we know what we're doing, and then we don't want to improve, and we've been doing this good last decade or 2 decades. But well, yes, we've been there, and we really had those discussions and also ups and downs with the site. So that's really the in the core of all what we do. Really, well, I was thinking one point that I would like all of you to remember after this. This might be a bad thing to say, but still, really, we aren't here to sell you just some SaaS licenses. What we really want to do is to actually change the construction industry, and this is really the point why we focus and been focusing through all these years on the actual events that then actually make the difference. So we really want to help sites to transform their operations and make things more clever in their ways. And not really just the sites, but also really the contracting companies and developers so that they can see that what can be done differently and not to continue the fight with the windmills anymore. But yeah, really shortly about our background. So we have background in a Fira construction company. It was founded in 2002. Well, it was a minor Finnish company on its first years, just focusing on parking halls and few business premises. Well, in approximately 2012 and 2013, they started focus on residential construction also, and expanded their portfolio, which of course reflected their revenue. But in 2016, really the development of industrialized construction methods begins within their internal development programs, and also the startup program that was initiated. So since then, we've been developing these solutions and really rethinking about all of the aspects and processes to be done in a general contracting company so that things could be done better. And yeah, well, as you can see, even though the market in Finland hasn't been so good through those years, so Fira has been able to organically grow its revenue all the way. And actually, what we did in well, it was 2.5 years ago almost. So we demerged the tech companies outside of the Fira, and that's why, well, our current company structure is more like this. That actually now we belong in Flow Technologies, and of course I will focus in this presentation about the Sitedrive, which is the software company, but we do have also the Flow Modules, our company for manufacturing prefabricated bathroom pots and other pre-assemblies. And yeah, well, we still work closely with Fira, but we are a separate company from that now. So a bit about our journey to productivity. So what we have been doing since 2016. Well, the thing that we had inside the Fira is that we were really looking for solutions that would help us to digitalize our construction. So back then there were not really good solutions actually doing digital production. This here is also a terminology thing, but we really didn't want to just have the paper to put in the PDF or use just the Excels, but we need a really data-centric approach for managing the business operations. Another criteria was that we really need a web-based solutions to just have all the users to be able to use the same information. It cannot be some separate files that couldn't be work collaboratively. We need a collaborative solution, and that's why it had to be web-based. And really, another key point through these years has been development of the situational awareness to really get the project view that they want to have or need for performing the production, but also see full portfolio of about a contracting company is going on. And of course, it has to be user-friendly. You cannot change that. And that's what really made us the fundamentals of the Sitedrive 1.0. Yes, and this was the solution. Well, we were quite fast with our approach. Okay, hey, now we have a good solution, and we have the market proof in Finland, and we thought that hey, it's really good, and let's just turn it into SaaS software and insert your credit card and buy our user licenses. Good to go. Well, it was a good solution, but still we were really thinking that can we get to the value? What is the actual impact of these solutions? Well, of course, back then we had a great solution for web-based solution for managing schedules, but still we weren't able to deliver the value to other clients. Of course, they had a cool tool for schedule planning, but that's not really changing the industry. And that's why we needed to really change our focus a bit. So back then, we'll just do something in 2018, 2019. We decided to really focus on understanding the core processes, also outside Fira. Of course, we've been working with Fira all these years, but the Mango was another company, a general contracting company in southern Finland, and our system was actually a MEP subcontractor in Finland. So we really started a close collaboration with these companies and a few others to really understand how to make the difference, how to not to have the same problems all and over again in these projects. So that's why we focused really on transforming the construction, but it was really a one company at a time approach. Of course, we had this extensive process of going through their processes and redefining how the business should be structured and stuff like that. And it was really good. We were able to tailor them new operating models so that they could improve their own productivity. But still, meanwhile, we couldn't make a market solution out of this kind of approach. And still, to really expand our impact, we wanted to focus on something else. And this was the point we started our expanded collaboration programs. Well, we really focused on, well, all of these years we've been focusing on university collaboration, and actually we have a long history with Aarhus University and DTU thanks to Johan Theiser, but still we really wanted to focus the market leaders and partner with them, and that's why we started programs with Skanska and Saint-Gobain and Kone to really know how to make a global scale solution that actually has an impact to the construction business. And this was really about how we can make solutions for the contracting companies that they could benefit from the offerings of these partners, but also make it in a way that can be implemented to many sites with really good, well, really actually making a difference. Back then, with Skanska, we actually did the development of our tact module. It was a specific tact-based, well, our first version of the tact construction scheduling in Sitedrive. And we had really good impacts with these also. But back then, once we started to we had the old Sitedrive and we had the tagged model, we saw that all of these schedules are actually disconnected. It turned out that the best sites that were operating, they had something like 12 to 15 different schedules, even within our software. And it was really hard to keep the things updated in that sense. Of course, as they had really experienced foremen and who had their own schedules, they were able to achieve the benefits of faster throughput times, but it was still a quite cumbersome thing to manage. And well, that's really the point when we started to decide from scratch with the Sitedrive. The reason here is really that during these years and all of this context and the collaboration with the clients shows us that really what we call as industrialized construction, it's not like we see in some other consultancy companies do. Well, often it's like displayed like this, that okay, hey, one project you can go with the Gantt and maybe imply location-based scheduling for that, and then once you're mature enough, hey, let's shift to the last planner or some other version of collaborative scheduling for the projects. And then if you have the third project and the team is good, you can go with tagged-based, location-based scheduling and get the full benefit out of it. But the really big thing is that when you look at the whole life cycle of the construction project, it's not like you could be just changing your Gantt directly to the pure tagged. It's not like you're able to do everything. Of course, tagged is always a good solution, and I vote for that. But still, you need the other kind of approaches also, and that's how we really are focused at. Actually, the reality at the site and project is that you need all of these different modes to really properly manage the construction project. And this was really the fundamental point for us, that okay, we don't want to have disconnected schedules, but what to choose? Well, should we go Gantt or the tagged or whatever do we want to go? Well, we really need to rethink ourselves, and that's really the birth of the Sitedrive 2.0, which we currently operate. Actually, I don't know if some of you have experience with the earlier Sitedrive, but it's been actually phased out since the beginning of this year, and that it's not even available anymore. So we have now this new solution, Sitedrive 2.0, which was actually, it was published already in 10 months ago, but we've been developing it fast during these years. And yeah, well, about this path, of course, as a Fira, we were also developing a lot of things for process management and prefabrication and redesigning modular design, etc. So that's also what we have experience of, but still we really want to focus on improving the construction management first. And actually, well, here's just a quick slide about our company's different solutions. So way we see it is that the Sitedrive is really the starting point. And actually how we do it is that in almost any site we start with the client, we are able to cut down the lead time 10 to 20%. It's just by rethinking about how the construction should be managed in that site and having those discussions with the team. But then when we want to yet improve the productivity, we implement this, what we call a site factory. And well, I'm not going there in this presentation. I can keep another one for that. But that's really our management model defined for sites doing accurate hourly level tagged construction. And this is really when you can get the full benefit of the processes. But then all these years has also taught us that there's only a certain level you can go with improving processes, and that's the point when you once you have it, you really need to start rethinking also about the product, about what you are building, and that's where you need to have a modular design, use of prefabrication, and use of all of these solutions. So really the third step is implementing the prefabricated solutions. And well, of course, one can start with the second or even start with the prefab, but really get the full benefit out of it. You can have the full solution. And just shortly before going to the more deeply to Sitedrive, the full impact of all of this through these years. Well, this is just from 2018, but this is actually what we've been able to do with Fira residential construction. So this is their whole residential construction portfolio over these years. In total, average throughput time has been cut over 30%. In fact, actually, their best projects have got the throughput time to half. So their best flagship project was last year. It was 50% faster than the average project. Really good thing about the lean construction that we were also a bit astonished was that this decrease of defects per apartment. So because we are doing a tact level, hourly level tact in those projects, we have been able to catch the defects much earlier, and that's why we don't have we had zero, or Fira had zero defects per apartment last year during the handover inspections. So we can get all those things done, and there's no hurdle in the finishing of the project. And also thanks to this operating model and of course a standardized design and products, we've been able to cut the costs of this Fira process also through these years. But yeah, this is just about the full solution, and if you start using Sitedrive for the start, it's really redefining about what has to happen and how to control the sites. But then let's dig more deeper into the Sitedrive. So as I was already a bit telling about it, is that the new Sitedrive is really built on the core principle of single shared root on the scheduling side, and this really means that there's only one schedule that is being updated. Of course, it's also web-based, and you can use it with the mobile and fully digital and granular data. And this one schedule principle is really about combining all these different views so you can look at the same data in traditional Gantt view or line of balance view if you're more used to that, or then in the tact or different type of location-based views. So you really see what should happen in each location at the site, and are we up to date? And yeah, we can also connect this data or use the data from the quantity takeoffs to make a quantity-based scheduling in that sense. If you have those data available, we can bring it to the Sitedrive. But then let's go through a actual customer case that we had. So really, when we go to the new sites or have these discussions with the experienced professionals, it's quite like this, that we had this one discussion with the foreman called Mika. So what he was doing is that he's been happy with his Gantt. He's actually really good site manager. He's get his bonuses and then meets the deadline and everything's going good, and that's why he don't want to change the way he does. He's performing great week and floor level scheduling on his site, and everything's operating good. And what he's heard from others, that tact production only brings problems, and that's why he really didn't want to shift to tact production. But still, what we really did with him was that just to have these few 2 to 3 hour sessions, we were able to save almost 1.5 months from his schedules, just by looking more into the location-based planning. Well, it wasn't tagged as you might not know it, but it's still more accurate location-based planning. Then wait a second, I'll switch to the software. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, we can see the screen, Tomi.
Good. So this was actually, well, actually this is already refined, but this was actually the starting point for this Mika schedule. So we just imported his traditional way of doing project planning in our software and started rethinking about what could be done next. So good thing here is that we can see the master schedule in a traditional Gantt type of view. But the really thing what we do here in behind is that we implement the locations and really the areas of where the work has to happen. So we have all information here. So, well, this is actually in Finnish now, but it's building 1 and floor 1, floor 5, and etc. So what we have here is that what we really start doing is we just had a discussion about what is the actual work that you have in the dry rooms, and what are the actual tasks that you have there. So in this view, we actually have all the apartments and all the dry rooms that this project has, and then we're just discussing, okay, hey, where to start? And well, this interface started from travel framing and first site, so it was quite easily to discuss about, hey, what is the task in this room and what is the length it has to have and how we want to do it. And so we started listing all of these different tasks here, and that's how we got to easily make the schedule out of it. Well, of course, as you know, there might be something like the concrete pour on the floor, like the screeding. It might not be ideal to done one apartment at a time, and that's why there's all these different discontinuities in the work. Well, of course, this can be also planned here, and then, well, one might say that this ain't tagged anymore because there's just these gaps in the schedules, but that's also easy thing to do. So this was really actually this kind of what is the task that you are doing, how long they will take, who can be coming and doing the work. This also really revealed us that this Mika had this door installation guy who was doing all his door installation in his sites, but the thing really was that he needed 2 floors for him so that he wanted to come to the site. Well, we had this discussion that do we really want to wait almost 3 weeks before nothing happens in this second floor? Would we just somehow renegotiate it with the door guy that maybe you should come earlier to here and start working, come only 2 days a week or something else, so that we can get to improve the schedule. And this was really the point that we started thinking that, okay, maybe we need to do something differently and redesign how we do work here to improve the scheduling, so we can get rid of all of these gaps in the schedule. And this is really, in fact, what we actually do with the first chart is really to understand the location-specific task sequences, and then thanks to this comprehensive view, we can show everything that you have. And well, after that, we did the same thing also for bathrooms. So same view can be done. Well, individual view can be done for the bathroom, so same thing can be done here. So what we have here is also we can see that, okay, hey, by the way, this apartment has actually 2 bedrooms, so how is this different than earlier ones? Can we complete this in time? And what is the actual flow and sequence of the crews that we want to operate at the site? Then, of course, we cannot live in silos, and that's why we need to know that what are all the activities that we have at the site. Well, it was over there, but here we can see what is all the work that happens at the apartment. Well, in this case, it was possible to have a sort of simultaneous work in the apartment, but we just wanted to ensure that all these things can be done. And yeah, well, this one good thing is that we can here highlight what is the actual dry area work, what happens in that apartment dry areas, and can we get all these things done even though there's someone working at the bathroom at the same time. Of course, this can be turned other way around to see, okay, this is actually where we start the bathroom work, and here we can see how they continue. Yeah, that was about it. Well, I guess this was actually not a topic, but I guess you're pretty familiar with the weekly level construction management. So, but this is really the simple thing here is to understand that what actually happens at the site and how we can actually man up the sites so that we can get the full benefit of the operations there. So if we have the week per floor type of thing, it's also easy to compare that, hey, maybe what if we could do instead of a 1 day per zone or one day per apartment. So this is actually where we can see that what is the benefit if we go with the full implementation. And of course, sometimes this needs a renegotiation with the suppliers, but most of them also, based on our experiences, that most of the contractors also like the tact and more lean production once we have a clear understanding about what each trade is about to do. What else is, well, this is just another example of perfectly neat Gantt schedule that, okay, hey, we can see that there's all work is kind of flowing and we have good view out of it. But then if we actually go to the detailed level here, we can see that there's actually a huge gap between these tasks. So it might see that it's really good, but as we have this white spaces here, there are all as for opportunities for improvement. So in a sense, what could be done here is the rethinking about, hey, perhaps we can just actually, instead of starting this day, it's more about understanding what can be done next and what is the optimal time between these packages. Of course, if we need some buffer, let's put it there. But when it's not needed, let's just really remove the unnecessary buffers in between. And if we need some more time, let's leave the gap to the end of the project. And that's really our approach of that. And so here we have fully improved that. This earlier Gantt schedule was on master level. If you look at the whole, we can see that the first one was from January 25 to start of May 26. So if we check it as a full tagged view, and even this one has gaps in between in production. But still, if we check this with the full view, is that we actually finished this project by this schedule already in October 25, instead of the April, May. So there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months set of time just by rethinking about how we can do it and what is the optimal way of doing these processes. Yeah, that's kind of almost all that I have to say at this point. So I'm happy to take any questions if you have.
Thank you, Timo. Is there any questions or comments from you? Please raise your hand or put them in the chat. I know, Tomi, that you also have some experience on the Danish market. And can you tell a little bit more about what do you need or what do you meet when you see on the Danish construction sector, what are their needs or obstacles or problems regarding this? And I have a second question as well. I know also that many of maybe some of the participants here today work with these bindings, connections between the different activities. And I know you have been working on it, so you don't have to move the columns, but yeah, that they are all connected. And can you give us a status on that matter?
Yeah. About the first one, so our experience with the Danish is that, well, of course, quite similar than in Norway and Finnish. What we see is that there's, of course, a quite varied level of skill about how the sites want to be managed. Of course, we had a great discussion with few Danish companies and site teams that really are implementing already a daily level tact, but still at the majority, it seems that for some reason, what we see is that the status quo is that everyone is doing a weekly level production and call it weekly level tact, and then it's like floor by floor. What we really urge and want you to rethink it is that what if we do smaller batch sizes? It's about thinking what is the actual zones that we can do work. It doesn't have to be one apartment at a time. It can be even like 2 to 3 apartments. It might help the production, and also about really it's more like deep or what you could call it, but it's really about what are the site management processes. Of course, it's good to know weekly what is your status at the site and have those discussions with the subcontractors and crews. But really, you could have also a daily situational awareness about what's going at the site. And actually, one really cool thing also that we have in the Sitedrive is that you can manage all the roadblocks within your production. So you can just let the sites use the mobile software, and then they can input their roadblocks, and in that way you can create more collaborative and teamwork thing to the sites, in which you have those things solved fast as they arise, so that there won't be so long bottlenecks within the production. Then what was the second question?
The second question was this about the connection, the bindings between the activities. I know a lot of the Danish people working with takt or location-based scheduling. Many of them are raised with these binding, and it's sort of a religion whether to have these bindings or not.
Yeah, of course. At least when you are combining like the whole schedule of the project, having also some of the design tasks and for example procurement tasks, it's really good to have these bindings or dependencies in the schedules. you can use them. But then, well, reason why we don't yet have them is that we focus more on the construction phase and really understanding what are the actual task sequences there. But still, we've been having this discussion mainly with some of your crews, but also with few other major clients, and that's why we started the work for these dependencies. And this day, well, I can't recall the last update, but it was something like forecast is that it will be something in February to March to be released, first version of dependencies to software to get this information. We'll start with the traditional dependencies like start to start and start to finish, and after that, we have planned to implement it more. But yeah, in this, well, I can't say if it's this winter, but this spring at least.
One of the difficulties, I think, is that you are not able to display the critical path, and that's something many planners want to, and normally every customer wants to see what is a critical path during the project, to see if we start, when are we then going to get finished, and what activities are on the path, what can be delayed if we are pressed, and what can under no circumstance be delayed to get to the goal and finish in time. And yes, also in Denmark, we are complied to in the contracts in AB 18 and so on, to have a schedule showing the critical path. It's actually a demand. So that's one of these. It's like so that's why we are asking for it.
Okay. Well, that's of course the thing that we need to have more discussion about what is the what will be ideal implementation.
It doesn't mean, because I like your product very much, and I've been trying it on a use case, and I like the easy way of importing Excel data into the product and then assigning the locations, and then you very fast get your takt, and you also very fast get your line of balance. So if you have a Microsoft project file or another, like we have Astra here at NCC, you simply just copy paste the columns into define the columns in the right way, and it's very, very smooth. Yeah, and with your resources assigned to it, so that I find very great, and I'm really looking forward to talk with your sales representative here in the near future, so we can see what is the progress. Where are we now?
Good, and it will be really good to also have that discussion about critical path in more detail. But yeah. Really, the thing that I wish to emphasize here is also about that we focus really understanding the actual task sequences that happen at the site, and that's why we really want to understand. Well, it was even a saying within our team back in the days that how to transform a cube of air into apartment. And that's really about knowing all of the tasks that has to be done, so that we can make these apartments become real and up to the standards of the clients. And
could you just show our colleagues? I don't know if they've seen, when you have one floor, you simply just select all the tasks, and then you can copy them to the next floor and then move them very easy. You don't. In many, like we did in Vico, it was almost impossible to copy tasks from one location to another. They were just piled up in the corner.
Yeah. So what we can.
So, for instance, if you, maybe you could show that, because that's very smooth, and that makes your program very easy to work with. So if you make a process line, and you, in this apartment, we're going to do so and so, we're going to have this room, and you have a flow for each of them. When you have made the first one, then it's very, very easy to copy paste them and then get your takt and see where you're actually going to end.
Yeah, so now I actually copied 155 tasks. It was not the full thing, but now what I did,
I just need to change my view because, yeah, a moment.
Yeah, so this is actually, I copied the whole sequence here, and what can be done next is that if you go to the next floor, you can just paste it down, so you can get the whole picture there.
And that's where it's very, very smooth and very, very easy to work with. And in Vico, that would have taken me 3 days to make that.
Yeah, and one really good thing is that you can also use, for example, what we call a sequence library or work package library. It works both in Gantt schedules, and they have own sequences, but then also for the other type of schedules. And actually, well, this one now is in Finnish, but I can also have this is from the interior factory. So basically, I have all the details defined here, meaning that I have also the task definitions and quality definitions in place, which I can then just implement in the new project. So, and
I'll mute my microphone, and then if anybody else has a comment, they can comment.
Thank you, Jan. A more experienced user in takt and location-based planning. I was wondering, Tomi, how could you have just a simple some points about how to get started? If you are not then an experienced user in takt planning, location-based planning, what's your advice to try your system or tools here?
Yeah, well, really